Daniel, I think you know where we're going to start. An eventful night. Georginio Ruta, his future, where does it lie? Are you expecting to keep him? How can you keep him after what Brighton have done overnight?
No, I expect that he will leave. It's not in our hands anymore. To be honest, to be fair, the news came out more or less during our preparation for the game yesterday in the early afternoon. So Georgie was aware, I was aware, also the players, more or less, they're also not stupid, they were aware. Was of course a bit difficult, fair play also to Georgie that he didn't rule himself out for this game. He said, I need to sleep one night over it and want to help and want to be involved also in this game. So credit to him. Yes, but this morning was a pretty emotional morning because he has more or less said goodbye. I can't confirm anything yet because it's just done when it's done and all is signed. But he has said goodbye in a pretty emotional way to each and every staff member, to each and every of his teammates. And I expect in the next 24 to 48 hours it will be confirmed, it will be officially. So at the moment, I'm pretty sure that we will be without him from today on. Yes.
Daniel, how aware were you of this clause? We've had a lot of these things over the last year. Were you fully briefed that this could happen?
I wasn't aware when I signed the contract 1 year ago, but obviously once we had a look into the contracts and also in the details and what could happen and would happen, I was aware of it. To be fair, 12 months ago, you couldn't predict that someone would activate a release clause, so won't speak about the sum, but be sure it's a proper sum of money, just due to the work that Georgie has done in the last 12 months, and we as a club have also done with him to create value with him, and yes, for that, of course, we're all hoping that we wouldn't have to speak about this clause and it wouldn't be activated because we're not motivated to have the biggest bank account in the league. We want to have the best team in the league, and of course, we wanted to keep Georgie Ruta and have tried everything in order to do this. But a contract is a contract, and you have to stick to what you have signed in the past. And yes, of course, when it became a topic in the last weeks and months, I was of course aware and still hoping that it would be activated, but the reality is in a different way right now.
Has the club done anything to try and keep him?
Yes, absolutely.
But that's not worked, by the sounds of it.
No, so to be honest, you know, I'm not a believer in contracts when the club is not in the driving seat. And I've spoken several times that in the nowadays we still have to pay for some sins in the past. So we've spoken about that we were a bit under financial pressure in the beginning of last season, and also right now due to that we were not promoted and to be in line with all the financial rules of fair play. So there was a bit pressure, and for that we had to do something on the transfer market. And this is what we've done in the beginning. But right now this is not a topic anymore. So we've paid for this. This club is totally in line right now, also with all the financial rules, and there is no problem in this terms. So we have paid for this sin in the past. It's done. But what still the reality is that in the past there were some contracts in terms of salaries, clauses, loan clauses, exit clauses, and it's not like you come in, have a different view and want to change this, and you press a button and it changed. You have to wait till step by step. You can also replace and renew old contracts with contracts without exit clauses and with more or less rules that you are always in the driving seat. I hate when we as a club are not in the driving seat and there are some clauses. But I'm also struggling a bit to blame more or less the people in former years in responsible situation, because Georgie, for example, was also signed, I think it was in January, once you were in the Premier League in relegation battle. And January is a difficult market, and sometimes you just get a player when there is an exit clause, especially once you're involved in the relegation battle. And this exit clause, also not a secret, is also so high that from the financial point of view, it's definitely also a good business. It was also good business to do this once this contract was signed. But of course, it also makes sure that you're not in the driving seat anymore. But you have to say, so the club right now, our board, our owners know how ambitious we are. And one thing each and every supporter can trust me. I have just signed a contract here because I want to bring this club back to the Premier League. And I know how ambitious our key people are, how ambitious especially Parag Marathi is, how ambitious our board is, our directors is. And no one, I can say no one, after our financial issues were solved with some early business in the beginning of this summer transfer window, no one was really keen or to sell Georgie in order to earn some money. No, we tried everything to convince him. But you have to stick also to what the club has signed in the past, and the club has signed a contract also with an exit clause. And it has nothing to do with our current chairman, with our current owners, with our current board. But they have to stick to the rules. And we accept also the rules. We've tried everything in order to convince him. And believe me, for players like him, like Archie Gray, it was also not easy to leave. Also for him, it was quite emotional. I think all of our players would have preferred to be there with promotion last season, and everything would have made our life a bit easier. But the reality is reality, and right now we have to stick to and adapt to this reality. That right now we have to rebuild a bit more. But one thing is for sure. So our owners, our board, this club is very, very ambitious. Yes, of course, which would be nicer to keep the really top squad from the last season who have earned 90 points. I would have preferred as a manager to keep our key players and perhaps even to strengthen, to improve our group even a bit. Right now we've lost a few key players. Yes, we know this. And so for that we have to rebuild also in a few positions, but we'll also do this pretty ambitious. And the good thing is, more or less, like I said, financial problems, or to be in line with the financial situation of financial fair play, is sorted. Also the second topic, that the more we replace the old contracts with new contracts, the more we are also back in the driving seat, and are also in control about what we have to do. And this is also like what we will do for the future, and also in general as a club also to learn the lessons out of it.
You mentioned Parag Marathi, the chairman, Daniel, and back in May, just after the playoff final, he said, we're not sitting back as the passive club. He also said, I'm excited we can be fully competitive from the start. With Archie, Cree and looking like Georgie's going to go, that's not the case. How can you argue that Leeds are as competitive as the best sides in the division at the moment?
I always like to be honest and transparent and to name it like it is. It's also why I projected yesterday also our players and our team a little bit with our performance yesterday, because I didn't want to speak beforehand, before the game or after the game about it, because it just sounds as an excuse. But if you're a player and you realize also over the afternoon Georgie Rutter will leave, believe me, so the players are not stupid. They also know we've lost the best player in the league, Cree Somerville. We've lost the best young player in the league, Archie Gray. We've lost a pretty important player for us who played more or less each and every game in the middle of the park, Glenn Kamara. We've lost our club captain, Liam Cooper. We've lost right now our next superstar and was destined to be the next best player of the championship, Georginio Wijnaldum. And in addition to that, also a few other really good characters and players, Conor Robert, Jamie Shackleton, and all the others. Of course, they think also in such a moment, oh, hang on a minute, what is happening? That's quite normal. And like I mentioned before, so after the final whistle of the last season was there, probably would have had as a big favorite into this new season. Right now we have the situation that we still have a really good squad, but we need definitely to rebuild on a few key positions, because Archie, Cree, Georgie, Liam, Glenn, they are all gone, and we know that we're perhaps not there with this brand anymore. We are the big favorite. But on the other hand, it's also 100% true what Parag said, and I totally stick to it, and I feel 100% also backed, because he is responsible to have also really good commercial deals with, for example, Red Bull, and he was responsible also to change our philosophy, how we want to run this club, because believe me, in the future there won't be any crazy loan clauses or sometimes exit clauses like this, because he makes sure that we will be in the driving seat for the future. But one thing is for sure, he's also a guy who totally respects contracts and the legal point of view. And when there are some players on old contracts with some loan clauses, exit clauses, yes, he's the first one who fights to do everything. And I know, for example, he personally has done everything also, especially in the last days, also to convince Georgie to stay, and not just Georgie. And how ambitious he is, I think it's an open secret that we have also rejected offers from other clubs, also over big money, also from the Premier League side, who wanted to buy even some other proper players from us. And he has said, no, we don't want the money, we want the best possible squad. But when there isn't a release clause, even his hands are tied, and we have to accept, although we both are there more or less like with more than just one tier in our eye, that a player, a fantastic player and a fantastic character like Georgie leaves. But like I also mentioned in one of my last press conferences, although of course on such a day we are sad, and believe me, no one is more disappointed and sad than Parag, because he is, same like me, unbelievably ambitious. So he didn't run this club in the way in order to be there with the biggest bank account in the championship. He wants to bring this club where it belongs, back to the Premier League, and he knows for that we need quality, need the best possible squad. He's 100% ambitious, but he also sticks to the rules and has to accept the reality. And the reality in this case was, yes, our hands were tied because we were not in the driving seat due to this exit clause. And right now, after 1 day of sadness and disappointing, we'll also make sure that we try in the last 2 weeks to be proactive and ambitious as much in order to be there with smart choices right now. Because it's not like we are just relying on one player or one staff member or one board member or one manager or sporting director to be successful as a club. So this club will never rely just on one player, on one person. And it's always possible also to replace one person. And right now we have a look and prepare also a few things in order to strengthen our squad, because quality has left. There is no doubt about this. Also key players have left. We have to rebuild a little bit, but if I'm honest, this is what I'm doing my whole life, to work with limited resources and sometimes also under strange circumstances. And last season was even more difficult, I have to say, and we were still capable to play a season with winning 90 points and coming pretty close to promotion. And this is right now also like my topic for the next days. Hard work. So perhaps we don't have the brand right now after all these losses of being the big favorite for promotion right now, but we still have a really good side. And I believe that really with hard work and commitment, you have also a chance then to be successful. And this is what we try to do, but also hopefully then also with ambitious business incomings in the next couple of weeks, because I also made no secret out of it. We definitely need on a few positions to strengthen the squad. And of course, even a bit more once a key player like Georgie Rutter is gone. We are not stupid. We know with Chris Somerville we have lost 19 goals and 12 assists. With Georgie we have lost several goals and many assists and a lot of creativity. Not to speak about the other players who have left. We know in order to fulfill also our ambitions, we need to be smart and also pretty aware in the transfer market in the next 2 weeks, yes.
Finally, for me, supporters' morale, you can understand, is low at the moment. How do you build the players' morale up now ahead of West Brom?
Yeah, so first of all, of course, everyone, I think, is disappointed, because when we have a look on where Georgie was coming from 12 months ago, I think everyone was more or less like a bit on his back and thought it was one of the worst signings in the history of the club. But he has earned his right to shine for this club, and he has earned his right that all the supporters loved him in the last months and praised him and were singing his name. And this is also what this club is all about. So it's not like we want to buy any success. So this club is always made out of hard work, also in the past, and sticking together in a bit difficult times. I wouldn't label it a difficult time because we have no financial pressure right now. We have also much more settled basement in comparison to 12 months ago. I wouldn't label this as a difficult time, but of course a bit disappointing because some key players have left and our supporters should be disappointed at the moment. If they wouldn't be right now, they wouldn't have any heart. So a player like Georgie, who leaves his heart on the sleeves and was really with full identification for this club. If someone leaves and you're not disappointed, then you're not sticking with Leeds United. So I want our supporters to be disappointed, but we also know we are not the club who just wants to buy success. We want to earn success. Also, exactly like Georgie earned all his praise in the last season, we want to be the same. So we want right now also to rebuild a new side based on really good players that we have already, and hopefully also good incomings who strengthen our squad. And then let's see how far we can come. So I'm still optimistic. So when you have to accept some sucker punch, it's not right now to go out and to be there and to speak too much about favorite and what we will do and what we will achieve. It's more like, come on, roll your sleeves up and work hard. And this is what I do to stabilize this club even a bit more. So to rebuild also the squad even a bit more after this outgoings. But this is also what I urge our supporters to do, to roll your sleeves up and stand even a bit more united. Because some of the other clubs have taken our players to the contract situation. Right now we stick even more together and with hard fight, perhaps with a little less quality, but perhaps with even more unity and more mentality. We try to be successful, and this is what we'll do. And I'm sure that after the dust has settled and also the disappointment's a bit away, this is exactly the feeling that our supporters have, because we'll stick together also during the difficult times. And again, it's the first game day. We have 1 point under our belt. Would have preferred 3 points. Yes, we won't win the Carabao Cup. That's a fact right now during this season. But I think if we are smart on the transfer market right now and also are capable to bring also our targets in, we have also a good chance to play a really good season.
Hi, Daniel. You talked about the goals, obviously, that those two in particular provided. I think it was 27 goals and 24 assists between them last season, which is obviously quite a lot. I mean, is it fair to say now, do you think that you've got to be looking at like two seriously good attacking players in terms of like what you're going to bring in? And can you give us any update into where we are with the transfer window? Obviously, you've got 2 weeks left now, so presumably you'll be in a good position for it.
No, I stick to what I've said. So we definitely need some cover on the fullback position. We would need also a midfielder. So this is definitely also something what we look at. We spoke before after Kui has left that we definitely need a winger or an offensive player. And after Georgie has left right now, definitely also a second offensive player. And offensive player needs to have the full package in all areas. And of course, you are not a top class quality offensive player if you don't deliver goals and assists. And of course, we're looking in order to do this, but it also has to fit in terms of personality and mentality, good character, and then also to be affordable for us. Also not that easy to attract then also this quality players. We're all a bit easier in the Premier League. There's no doubt about this. But this is what we are working on, and we try to work on and bring in. And I know also like our key people, how hard they work behind the scenes. I know at the moment when there are no incomings, everyone is a bit nervous, but I'm in daily talks with them, and they know also what I would like to do and what I would want to bring in, and hopefully they can also fulfill my and our wishes. And I'm carefully optimistic right now that in the next days and hours something will happen.
Good stuff. And just lastly, can we just get some team news? Obviously, it's a busy week with 3 games in less than a week. I know you've had back-to-back sort of everybody available. Is that still the case, or is anything new? And how challenging is this going to be? Like, because obviously it's not just a quick game. Kind of, it's 12:30 as well, isn't it, on Saturday? So it is a really tight turnaround.
Yes, this is why I also took the responsibility for so many changes for this game. Definitely too many changes, especially also under this circumstances, while the players were also distracted due to the situation with Georgie. No one knew before the game, but of course it was also for them quite emotional. So for that, I didn't want to be too critical with them. So I take it on my chin and my responsibility, and I had in my head quick turnaround right now also for Saturday. That was the reason why we changed perhaps even a bit more than we would normally do. And also knowing that our group is not too big at the moment, so we rely on that our medical department is doing a fantastic job. They do a fantastic job. Seems that everyone is again available. The only question mark behind Max Wilber, because he had some problems with his calf, so we need to assess him over the afternoon. Could be that he is a bit doubtful for the game, but apart from him, all the others are available, and this is also what we definitely need, because at the moment the group is still a bit small in numbers.
You said last night, of course, the players aren't stupid. They know what's going on with players coming and going. Do you have any concerns that you might need to convince some of the other players that the club is still going in the right direction and it has that ambition in bringing the right players in before deadline day? Otherwise, they might want to leave.
You mean the new players or the players?
No, the current players in the building, about the direction that you are going in before deadline day.
Yes, of course, they are also a bit affected if quality players and top characters like the guys we spoke about before are leaving, and of course they are also ambitious. It's also like when a player like Joe Roden signs a long-term contract with us, when Easton Ampadu, who attracts also lots of interest perhaps, or some other of our other offensive players, but they are fully committed to this club. Of course they want the best possible squad, and of course they want to play, but they are also asking for depth in the squad and quality in the squad, and they share the same feelings. So it's not like they are right now happy because one of their competitors in the offense is right now gone, Georgie Rutter, and perhaps there is a bigger amount of game time for all the others. No, it's more like, especially also like the players who are ambitious and are driving forces. Of course, they have a deeper look on what we're doing, but this also why I work so close with them, and I got the feeling so I have to protect them a little bit about the performance yesterday, because we faced a side who was just focused on this game, who just can concentrate on football in the recent weeks. With all the speculations and incomings, outgoings, it was sometimes not that easy for my squad just to be fully convinced and fully focused and concentrated. But sometimes also good when all the bad news are out of the way. Right now, the feeling is right now we have it with this outgoing of Georgie Rutter, and from now on we can also build and rebuild a bit more. And for that, it's also important that we have some proper signing that also send the right message into the dressing room, also to strengthen the belief. They know how we work, they know, and they believe in what we're doing, and the quality of our staff members, also like in the quality of our key people, because we have always open and honest talks. I think the players still stick together and believe in each other, and they believe in what we're doing here right now. Yeah, but in this moment it's also even a bit more important to think a bit more about the group than just the individual situation, to stick even a bit more together, and this is what we try also within the group. A bit like the same what we spoke about the whole club with our supporters. Come on, roll the sleeves up. Right now we show that we are Leeds United, we are united, and when there is right now a period till the new incomings are in and settled, where we have to fight perhaps with a bit less quality and a bit less numbers, then we stick more together and we fight together, grind out some results, and then hopefully once this transfer window is over, we are in a much better position than we are, at least at the moment today.
You made a very fair point, I think last week it was, you don't want to overspend on players, you don't want to pay over the odds for certain players. Will that stance need to soften now that pretty much the football world knows you need players quite badly and you have money to spend?
No, I don't send the message out right now. Right now, Leeds United, here we come, and we spend money and will overplay. No, definitely not. So I don't want to make the life of our really top negotiators difficult. And I know I've got top experienced guys on my side. I have to concentrate during this week on 3 games within 7 days, and also to keep everyone on track. And this is what I'm doing. So for that, I can't travel around the country or into different countries and negotiate myself. So I need to trust our key people, and they're doing a fantastic job. And with some comments that we will right now spend lots of money, I won't make their life more difficult. I know that we are ambitious, and we have also the chance to bring players in. But one thing is for sure, so we also have learned the messages and the lessons out of the past to panic and to give more like the driving seat out of your hand, and to do contracts that are not healthy for the mid and the long-term future of this club. This is what we will never do, and if that means we have to work with less quality, we do this. But I'm also quite sure that we will find some proper quality that is also affordable, and then in the end also not overpaid.
Daniel, we've learned today that Georgie's contract had a time limit on the release clause that has now expired. Is that the case for all of your players now? Are the release clauses irrelevant for the rest of this month?
No, I don't speak about other contracts and about other situations. I also don't want to make other clubs aware out of it, but be sure. So the situation 12 months ago was really, really, really difficult because there was a clause in more or less each and every contract, and we have totally changed the philosophy in what we're doing. Again, don't want to blame anyone in the past, because if you're on the relegation battle, sometimes you have to make decisions under pressure. And for that, I don't want to blame anyone. It's just like what I can speak about is about the future, and we will just make contracts, at least as long as I'm responsible in the driving seat here, where our hands are not tied and we don't give control away from what we want to do. Because Leeds United is a pretty proud club, and I think we should always be in control over the contracts. And if that means a player with quality doesn't come to us, then we do without the players, because we just want players who are fully committed and they don't have a back door to quit at some moment. We don't want to have this in the future, and this is more like what I can confirm is the more contracts are running out or terminated or whatever, and the more new players with new contracts are coming in, this will become less and less a problem. And also for the short-term future, as it stands, I'm not too concerned about the contracts.
And there'll be a lot of talk in the coming days, quite rightly, about players having to focus on West Brom and not on what's going on off the field. How will it be for you? Because you've obviously got two very important full-time jobs this week, preparing for West Brom and preparing for the transfer market.
Yes, busy days, but I don't complain. I have the best job in the world. I'm the manager of Leeds United. Perhaps, after being the Pope, perhaps the second best job in the world. So I'm in a privileged position. So and I still love to work. So yesterday I was at home after the game at, I think 12:30, because we analyzed the game. I watched the game back. Was at bed at 3 o'clock. Up at 7:30 to watch the last scenes to prepare our meeting this morning. We analyzed the game this morning, showed the scenes, what went wrong in the 20 minutes in the second half to analyze the game. Then I went out to train with the players who need a bit more training, recovery sessions for all the others, a few talks and something like this. And I had to hurry up because I was nearly already late for the press conference. Came in afterwards. I go into the next recruitment meeting. And then from 5 o'clock this evening, I can concentrate on West Brom, and then we keep going with our coaching stuff to analyze West Brom. Will be a long night, so I don't think we'll finish before 10 today. It's busy days. It's end of August. It's a week with 3 games in a week, so I don't complain about this. I'm having a favorite job, Leeds United manager, and I love my job. So for me, it's not like I count the hours. Yes, I'm not crying for sympathy when a bit. There are perhaps a few days with not that much sleep, but I have to make sure that we analyze the last game in the proper way, that the players are perfectly prepared and focus also on West Brom, and we also have to make sure that we take some proper decisions with the club. So, to be honest, 2 jobs at the moment is even a bit underrated. It feels like even a bit more, but there will be also more relaxed time. And we also had a summer break. I was just lying lazy on the beach. There was also the moment when you have to work sometimes to earn your money. And this is what I'm trying to do at the moment.
Thank you.
Thank you.